up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam host a year-end event to garner blessings for 2017. We take a look at China's left-behind children and see how Tzu Chi is helping to ease their loneliness. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers recently hosted a year-end blessing ceremony in Ho Chi Minh City. Among the participants, one volunteer became more determined to walk the Bodhisattva path after joining as an onstage volunteer in a sutra performance. Here's more on the event.
Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers host a year-end blessing ceremony in Ho Chi Minh City. As the venue is on the second floor, volunteers make sure that each resident with mobility issues can get to the site safely. Mrs. Tzu Chi attends this event with gratitude. He got to know Tzu Chi through Facebook, and it was then he asked Tzu Chi to assist his sister suffering from diabetes.
I thank you, Tzu Chi, for helping my sister when she was receiving medical treatment then. We still had some money after hosting a funeral for her, so I donated the money to Tzu Chi to help those in need.
Ron Fong Tao invites her mother to attend this event so they can look at Tzu Chi's dedication of the past year and enjoy the sutra adaptation performance together.
I feel very happy to see my daughter join with Tzu Chi to volunteer. I also feel quite happy because she can help the less fortunate.
After joining a sutra adaptation performance, I feel more motivated to walk the Bodhisattva path.
Ron Dak Hong and his wife attend this event every year, but this year he feels quite different than before because he's now a certified Tzu Chi volunteer.
Before I became a certified Tzu Chi volunteer, I attended the year-end blessing ceremony every year. But after receiving the certification this year, the ceremony seems to be more solemn and dignified.
The different stories have brought everyone together here. They all have the same mission in their hearts, to do good deeds and spread love to help the needy.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Canada recently held a year-end blessing ceremony in Vancouver. Although the snow and ice were heavy outside the event, the Tzu Chi family offered a warm, familial atmosphere full of love inside the event hall. Representatives from the Taiwanese TECO office in Vancouver made a visit to the event, as well as some Canadian government officials.
Since winter started in December, it has been snowing heavy in Vancouver, Canada. Snow covers the ground and the parking lot outside the year-end blessing ceremony. Volunteers are working hard to clear the parking space for attendees of the event.
We're doing all we can to make sure people have a place to park, that they can make it from the car to the event safely. We tell them all to take care. For elderly people, we will accompany them to avoid any injuries.
The warmth of volunteers inside the event helps to quickly warm folks up from the cold weather outside. This year, the event has over 400 participants, and many have brought their filled bamboo coin banks to spread blessings to others in need. Some volunteers have prepared a sutra adaptation performance of Fulfill My Dream. For all those present who come from abroad, the performance is especially meaningful.
We at TECO offices have also been sent out to foreign countries. We may run into lots of difficulties. It is really important to learn things like keep a calm and pure mind, like Tzu Chi teaches. When things are clearer, we can better represent Taiwan and do our jobs the best we can.
In addition to the staff of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Vancouver, volunteers have also invited some local government officials to join the event and share in the blessings for the Lunar New Year.
The Tzu Chi Foundation, what you do, and you do with purity of heart and with compassion, regardless of religion, culture, or even border, is what we need in this world right now.
I want to praise Tzu Chi for the spirit and love of the volunteers here in this event hall, which is filled with diversity. Thank you for being such a pillar and supporting this diverse community, for bringing more warmth and love here.
The director of British Columbia's Office for Cultural Diversity attended the event to share her thanks for Tzu Chi's positive impact in Vancouver for the last 25 years. Together, Tzu Chi, along with local residents, care recipients, and government officials in Canada, are sharing love and blessings together before the coming Lunar New Year.
Next, we meet Tzu Chi volunteer Guo Qiulan, who lives in Hengchun, Taiwan. Although she has known about Tzu Chi for 13 years, it wasn't until the sudden passing of her mother that she realized she needed to take refuge in Master Cheng Yen's teachings. For the past 2 years, Ms. Guo turned her love for her mother into energy in looking after her father and doing Tzu Chi.
Residents in Hengchun, Pingtung County bring their family elderly to the year-end ceremony. Tzu Chi volunteer Guo Qiulan, who was certified this year, also has one family elderly at home.
Remember, the elderly need company. I'm old and my daughter keeps me company.
The father is being looked after by his daughter Guo Qiulan because his healthy wife suddenly passed away in 2015. Her death had the most impact to Guo Qiulan.
While my mom was alive, she had told me that since I wasn't married, I need to make a decision. She told me to take refuge with the Master.
After she experienced the impermanence in life, she decided to take up volunteer training. Actually, she had known Tzu Chi for 13 years through a friend Zheng Yazhi, who came to stay at Guo's home.
I came from Kaohsiung and I didn't know the city or anyone. I was scared.
Her good friend often asked her to drive to pick her up to attend Tzu Chi events. After a while, Guo Qiulan found the goal of her life. She is now a Tzu Chi media volunteer and also does recycling often. She has turned her love for her mother into great love to reciprocate her mother's love.
In Malaysia, volunteers organize a number of activities to educate people on the health and environmental benefits of eating a vegetarian diet. We'll join some nursing staff at a kidney dialysis center, as well as see some lecture events and interactive activities hosted by local volunteers in Penang.
These Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia are inviting everyone they meet to go vegetarian. They start in their community by setting up an informational display, and later start conversations with people at different restaurants. But not everyone is open to the message.
Maybe it's just that they are not ready. I don't worry about it, so long as they know that eating vegetarian is good to planet's Earth and can help slow global temperature rises. That is a good thing.
These volunteers have made the vow to do what they must to spread their message. Here at the Straits Quay, volunteers are hosting an event on the topic, and they are preparing some delicious vegetarian snacks to help convince people as well.
It's very simple to make these dishes for them to taste. That's what we tell them. That is actually very simple to eat vegetarian.
There are also lectures and various interactive activities designed to spread the message. Many mothers have brought the children to join the day's event.
If we can make them understand the benefits of eating vegetarian, then they may choose to eat vegetarian a bit more often. I tell them that eating vegetarian is something very good to do, and they shouldn't eat too much meat.
Eating more veggies means a healthier diet. One care recipient who has been on dialysis for her kidney failure can attest to the positive change that going vegetarian has brought.
First came here, my hemoglobin was only 7.5, but now I'm 14.4 already. Yeah, and from not eating meat, I'm improving.
To spread the message about Ethical Eating Day, these volunteers and hospital staff are going all over the building, singing and dancing.
The nurses and the dialysis patients and their family members, along with the volunteers that come, everyone has been very active and energetic in coming to the center and helping our colleagues and patients understand that eating vegetarian is really important.
Going vegetarian for a single day is great, but to have an even greater impact, avoiding meat and eating vegetarian is a habit that we should all try to maintain every day.
With the rapid economic development of China, there is a phenomenon occurring in the rural countryside where children are being left in the care of relatives. These children can only use social benefits in their own hometown, while parents leave for the city to seek work. The long-term effects on these left-behind children have been damaging. It is widely known what these children need is not necessarily material aid, but the love and care of a family. With the increase in urban areas for job opportunities, there is a phenomenon in China known as the left behind children, as parents leave their kids behind in care of relatives. In 2016, China has announced that left behind children total over 9 million in the country, with the majority of them in western and central China. A closer look at those numbers revealed that Jiangxi has over 1 million left behind children, while Sichuan, Guizhou, and Henan each has over 800,000. 10-year-old Song Beibei lives in Wude town of Henan's Wen County. She is a left-behind child. As her parents are not around, she takes care of a younger brother on their behalf. The 10-year-old's guarded demeanor is let down when she flips through family photo albums.
对啦，那你现在都跟谁一起生活啊？
姑姑呀，他们星期天呢，有时候去，有时候不去。
那你会想他们吗？
对呀。
Visiting Beibei's school, it is clear that teachers and other educational facilities are up to standards, but the percentage of left-behind children like Beibei is high.
Our school has first through third graders, and there are a total of 23 students. Out of the 23 students, 13 of them are left behind children. What these children need the most is companionship and familial love.
Not lacking in material aid, the students just need a bit of love and care. In 2016, a group of friends began regularly visiting the students. Using ice-breaking games, the volunteers and children become fast friends. Leading them in a positive song, the volunteers bring warmth and love to share with these children.
We want them to understand and carry out filial piety towards their parents, respect for the teachers, and for the children to understand environmental protection.
We know that these left-behind children might not necessarily need only material aid. We hope by providing them with love and care, they can grow up well-educated and filled with love in their life.
Meanwhile, on the school campus, a group of high school students from Zhengzhou and exchange students from Japan are visiting the elementary to be a volunteer for the day. The group also brought some material aid for the students.
I've brought some magazines for the children. The class-level gaps in China are getting bigger. These children really need society's help. This help shouldn't just come from the government, but charity organizations too.
The problems of the left-behind children are gaining the attention of the country. For example, in Henan, the government has begun to enact a protection policy where family monitoring, temporary guardianship, school support, and family registry is all under evaluation. All in the hopes that these children can get the care they need while growing up, so as to not become a burden on society in the future. Moving to Singapore to assist Tzu Chi volunteer Tso Peng promote vegetarian eating to the customers at her restaurant, her 8-year-old daughter Giselle made small cards that teach the benefits of adopting a meatless diet.
I'm drawing fruits and vegetables that we should eat frequently. There is a website on the back of the card. We can sign up for the campaign there.
This manual vegetarian card is the gift for the customers who visit this restaurant.
I'm going to promote Ethical Eating Day 111 to the customers.
Beau Gazelle is actively explaining the meaning of the 111 campaign to the customers.
We hope to get more people to eat veggies together.
8-year-old Beau Gazelle goes here and there at the restaurant to explain the benefits of vegetarianism to the adults.
Thank you for changing my life.
That girl is very cute. She asked me not to eat meat for one day. I think it is fine with me to go vegetarian for one day.
At the beginning, I promoted vegetarianism with my mother. Now I feel more brave. If they eat veggies, they won't harm the animals.
When we are very busy, we can hardly have time to promote vegetarianism, so I think my daughter is very helpful. Actually, we didn't teach her before, but after she listened to us talk about this idea, she is now able to share it with others.
Tzu Chi volunteer Tzu Peng and her daughter promote the Ethical Eating Day 111 at their own restaurant. They hope each customer can help spread this idea to the people around them.
On the day of the campaign, January 11th, even those who are not vegetarians can join us to eat veggies. This way we can reduce carbon dioxide emissions.
I think especially moving towards what I believe in a balanced diet is definitely something that we should encourage.
If you are a strong believer of you are what you eat, you would want to start off eating the right thing and putting the right things into the body.
Within merely 3 weeks, this mother-daughter pair have already invited 120 people to go vegetarian while reinforcing their healthy mentality.
Back to Malaysia, a student at Johor Bahru Tzu Chi kindergarten began adopting a vegetarian diet after joining the school's Vegiland Passport campaign. Out of his love for animals, he also refuses to eat meat dishes at home. His family eventually followed suit, seeing how healthy he has become.
Seeing only meat dishes on the table, 5-year-old Wu Kunqing chooses to only eat rice since he does not want to hurt other animals.
Every time I give him some meat, he would pick it out and say, I want to adopt a vegetarian diet since I do not want to kill other animals. Then I asked him, why aren't you eating this? He replied, meat is not good for health, and his teacher said that vegetarian diet is beneficial to one's health.
因为不要杀动物。
谁叫你不要杀动物？
因为动物啊，等一下你杀掉啊。
If you kill an animal's mother, you would not be able to find his mother.
找不到。
那么现在呢，带他去 KFC， 他跟
He refuses to go to fast food restaurant now. He said that the oil used to fry French fries could have meat in it. I never thought about this before. This 5-year-old child is very thoughtful about this. He is very determined. We are afraid that he is not getting enough nutrients, such as protein. So I once mixed some chicken meats in his rice. He took a bite and picked out the meat. He usually smells the food before eating them. I asked his teacher if he's getting enough nutrients. The teacher said it is not a problem. At home, we feed him with multi-grain powder drink, tofu, eggs, etc.
Wu Kunqing's determination once worried his grandparents until they realized he was actually becoming healthier than before.
他还没有吃素之前会比较多。
He got sick more easily before adopting a vegetarian diet. He used to have sore throats from time to time. However, after switching to a vegetarian diet, he became healthier, and so does his digestive system. He no longer gets sore throats or fever. Then he said that his throat feels good when eating vegetables and he does not want to eat meat. When we cook dinner now, we sometimes prepare just one dish. For example, he likes mushroom soup, so we add carrots and potatoes to eat. We cook food that he enjoys eating so we won't waste food.
那你要吃菜吃到几时？
吃到老哦。
然后你要吃到老啊？还要浇水一起吃。
全部人。
Some 60% of Taiwan's production capability comes from small and medium-sized factories. However, many such factories are built illegally on agricultural land in order to save money. To help these companies get on the right track as well as work in international markets, the government has been actively trying to legalize such factories. Changhua County's Lugang Dingfanpo is one area that is working towards legalization. But on the other hand, in the Greater Taipei region, many of these illegal factories face demolition.
Aside from rural areas, the Greater Taipei area is quite densely populated and also has many illegal factories.
I think this is an industrial area because there are a lot of factories here. I frequently walk around and see iron factories, aluminum factories, and also a few wood factories, though most are metal processing.
In New Taipei City's Banqiao Fuzhou Borough, along an expressway near the river bank are many illegal factories. This is a wood processing factory, and here is a metal processing factory, which is very difficult to legalize. Urban planning issues have pushed for these factories to be demolished.
福州
板桥福州 Borough and 新庄温子镇 and 三峡麦子园 almost 7,000 factories are slated for demolition.
The boss of this woodworking factory shows a big stack of paper showing a document indicating New Taipei City wants to reclaim this land.
Each pin will be bought for $200, and we have been asked 3 times. This letter from the Ministry of Economic Affairs identified almost 500 factories, and only 7 or 8 have passed, with most not passing. We still don't know if we are legal or illegal.
New Taipei City has some 7,000 illegal factories facing demolition, though many are finding it hard to acquire industrial land.
Industrial land has been subject to speculation by financial groups, with each pin costing $15,000 to $25,000. How can factories afford to buy this land, which is a complaint by many?
Chung says that though his business is small, he is supporting high-tech products which depend on supporting factories. In recent years, he has lacked staff and has had to call his son to come back to help, but he doesn't know how long he can do this work.
We started underneath the Fuzhou Bridge, near the MRT factory there, and then Sulin's Ganyuan, but there are still problems. Although we bought this land, but now we still face problems and risks of being demolished. Even non-legitimate factories still have to pay taxes.
For the time being, temporary factory registration is being administered by municipal authorities, but of course, relevant bureaus also need to carry out the relevant review.
According to data, the largest number of illegal factories in Banqiao's Fuzhou is 486. Sanzhong's Zhongxing Road and Huanhe North Road have 433, and Wugu Sui Dui has 378, with Shunling's Ganyuan having 296, and Luzhou's Fuxing Road having 265. This is currently the first wave of factories set for demolition. We then went to visit Shuling's Ganyuan. This area was all farmland that had been occupied by illegal factories. The vast majority are textile companies, as well as the world's first OEM factory. More than 90% are simply tenants, but the real owners under pressure are not accepting an interview, only giving a low-key response, saying they did not get the landlord's consent, so it was impossible for them to become legal.
We rent it. All of Ganyuan is rented. How much do I pay? About $8 per ping, as we can't afford to buy land. The Tuoqiang industrial zone costs about $15,000, but very few people can get in.
These businesses said the landlord here took farmland and converted into a steel-sided factory, and then filled it with tenants. If they have access to cheap industrial land, no factories would choose to operate illegally.
At the end of the program, we join various places across the globe as they celebrate the Lunar New Year with either the passing out of the red envelopes of blessing and wisdom or ceremonies to garner blessings. As we leave you with these images, on behalf of all of us here at DaAi TV, we would like to wish you and your family a happy Lunar New Year. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.